Hello, hello! So today, I'm going to try to play Ironsworn, or at least make a character. It is by Sean Tompkin, and I'll put the link to it in the description down below. It's available for free. They just came out with an expansion called Ironsworn Starforged, which is like spacefaring adventure. But I'm going to try the original. They have this really neat play kit that you can download for free as well. And it has basically everything you need to play. And then the rulebook is also free. It's New Beginnings. Let's just start with what you need. Okay, so you need two 10-sided dice. One. Two. One 6-sided die. And another pair of 10-sided die to use as an oracle die. That's especially important playing solo. So I got my dice here. And then I have a printed character sheet. And I printed out the play kit. So the character sheet, it looks complex, but the rule book walks you through everything you need to do. You are Ironsworn. Others live out their lives hardly venturing beyond the walls of their village or steading, but you are different. Your sworn vows will lead to a life of danger, heroism, and sacrifice at the edge of the known world. Before you jump into the mechanics of your character, consider their motivations, interests, skills, personality, and weaknesses. It's fine to start with one or two ideas about your background and goals. You can flesh out your character as you play. Perfect. Be awesome. Your character's highly competent. You're smart, brave, and driven. You can hold your own in a fight. When you swear an iron vow, you mean it. I like that. You are not without your limitations. You'll face hardship, you'll make bad decisions, you will fail. That's life. Overcoming these failures, pushing on, is what makes you heroic. Be who you want. The people of the Ironlands are diverse. Communities are formed through shared interests, mutual protection, or strong leadership. Respect is paid to traditions of the Old World, but Ironlanders largely left behind their cultural divisions when they crossed the vast northern ocean. Even within a single community, you'll find a fusion of the Old World and Ironland influences. You can envision your character however you like, unbound by geography, lineage, sexual orientation, and gender. Your character can be inspired directly by a real world or historical culture, or you might weave a blend of cultural influences into your concept. The default setting is human-centric, and these rules do not include specific options to play fantasy races. However, you can adjust to your liking. The mechanics of your character are relatively light and can be themed to support several types of fantasy or historical fiction. I feel like my character is going to be more like the Viking type. But like a sensitive Viking. I don't want to put too much detail into it yet, but I think that would be very fun. You can build your world, build your character, or do both in tandem. If you have a clear idea for your character, start there and build your world around them, as if you're building a set to suit your actor. If you need inspiration, start with the world. Chapter 4, page 111, includes prompts for situations and quests to help you envision your character and your place in the Ironlands. Oh, we can roll for names? I'm gonna roll for a name. "45. My name is Zahn." Perfect. That's actually perfect. Zahn, the Sensitive Viking. There are 5 stats. Each is given a value from 1 to 3. When you make a move and roll dice, you usually add one of your stats to your action die. The move will tell you which stat to add or give you a choice. To start, arrange these bonuses across your 5 stats in any order. 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. I'm gonna have 1 on edge. 3 on heart. 2 on iron. 2 on shadow, and 1 on wits. I don't think I'm necessarily the wittiest. I definitely don't have a whole lot of expertise. I feel like this is really like the beginning of my journey to like make a name for myself. And to prove to everyone, including myself, that I have what it takes to be, if not the best Ironlander, like pretty important. I think that I could do a lot of good. Health represents your current physical condition and stamina, ranked from 0 to +5. Health is reduced when you endure harm and increased when you rest or receive care through moves such as heal or sojourn. If you're at 0 health, scoring a miss when you endure harm puts you at risk of suffering a debility or dying. To start, set your health track to +5. Spirit's your current mental state, ranked from 0 to +5. Spirit's reduced when you endure stress. It is increased when you find comfort in companionship, success, or relaxed moments through moves such as make camp or forge a bond. That's cool that that's a move. Forge a bond. If you're at 0 spirit, scoring a miss when you endure stress puts you at risk of suffering a debility or falling into desolation. To start, set your spirit track to +5. Supply is an abstract representation of your preparedness, including ammo, food, water, and general upkeep. It is ranked from 0 to +5. Instead of keeping track of a detailed inventory, you can consider most of your mundane gear as covered under supply. Momentum represents how you are faring in your quests. It is gained and lost through moves. So your max momentum is 10 plus 10, and your current momentum is +2. Okay, vows. When you swear an iron vow, you give it a rank and record it on your character sheet. You then use a vow progress track to mark when you reach a milestone. You should start your first session with 2 vows: a long-term goal, your background vow, and an immediate situation which must be dealt with, your inciting incident. You'll find quest starters in Chapter 4 and Chapter 5. To learn more about starting vows, see page 195. Okay, so we are on page 35. I go to 195 to look at vows. When you create your character, you give yourself a background vow to represent primary motivation or ultimate goal. This vow is part of your character's backstory. It may be a vow sworn years ago, or one which is a reaction to some recent major event. Write down this vow and give it a rank of extreme or epic. You don't need to make the swear an iron vow move for this quest. Fulfilling this vow will not be easy. In story time, it might require months, or years, or even decades to see this vow fulfilled or forsaken. You may even decide your background vow isn't something you make significant progress on in your narrative. Instead, it just helps establish some role-playing detail for your character and fleshes out your world. Okay, before I pick a vow, let's just read a little background on the setting. So it's a rugged peninsula of isolated communities and untracked wilds on the frontier of the known world. So there's no major cities. 2 generations ago, your people were driven to the Ironlands from their former homes in the Old World. The weather here is harsh. Winters are brutal. The rugged terrain makes travel and trade difficult and dangerous. No thriving cities, instead Ironlanders live in isolated villages or steadings. Their homes are modest buildings of wood, stone, and thatch. Many areas of the Ironlands are unexplored and uninhabited except by the firstborn, beings such as elves, giants, and the wolf-like Varu. Coins have little value here, mostly barter and favors. Some communities remain isolated and independent, while others trade in basic goods such as iron, grain, wood, livestock, wool, and coal. Lots of diversity here. Communities sometimes band together under a powerful leader, but there are no kingdoms, territorial lines are sketchily drawn if at all. Large-scale warfare is unheard of, but raiding parties and skirmishes between communities are a constant menace. Some communities subsist entirely on raiding. Spear, axe, shield, and bow are dominant weapons. Great, I love axes. Swords are rare and highly prized. Magic is subtle and mysterious. Mystics seek to ward away the darkness through the practice of magic, but often succumb to it. Rituals are performed as blessings and to gain insight. Supernatural creatures and beasts are rare, frightening, and dangerous. Cool. If you're playing in the Ironlands or similar setting, work through the Your Truths exercise. For each category in this section, choose one of the 3 options and make it true for your version of the Ironlands. Your choices set the background and tone of your campaign and may inspire vows through the quest starters listed with each option. You can also make your own if you don't like them. Very nice. Okay, so the Old World. Savage clans called the Skolde. Skolde. I like Skolde. Invaded the kingdoms of the Old World. Our armies fell. Most were killed or taken into slavery. Those who escaped set sail aboard anything that would float. After an arduous months-long voyage, the survivors made landfall upon the Ironlands. I kind of like that because it kind of goes, it ties in line with what I was thinking. Or the sickness moved like a horrible wave across the old world, killing all in its path. Thousands fled aboard ships, however the plague could not be outrun. On many ships the disease was contained through ruthless measures, tossing overboard any who exhibited the slightest symptom. Other ships were forever lost. In the end, those who survived found the Ironlands and made it their new home. Some say we will forever be cursed by those we left behind. A settlement is stricken by disease. Though this sickness bears some similarities to the old world plague, it doesn't kill its victims. Instead, it changes them. How does this disease manifest? Why do you swear to seek out a cure? Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. Vows. Find cure for disease. This is going to be an epic one. It's going to be my background vow, I think. I like this one too. Under iron, inscrutable metal pillars are found throughout the land. They are iron gray and smooth as river stone. No one knows their purpose. Some say they are as old as the world. Some, such as the iron priests, worship them and swear vows upon them. Most make the warding sign and hurry along their way when they happen across one. The pillars do not tarnish, and even the sharpest blade cannot mark them. So the quest starter is your dreams are haunted by visions of a pillar which stands in an unfamiliar landscape. What do you see? Why are you sworn to seek it out? And that's going to be my short term. Pillars haunting dreams. Now let's go back to character creation. You should start your first session with up to 3 background bonds. Make a note of the people or communities you share bonds with and mark up to 3 ticks of your bond progress track. To learn more about your first session and starting bonds, see page 193. Give yourself up to 3 bonds. I'm going to use this example paragraph. You mark 1 bond for your home village. You also envision an NPC, the clan overseer, who is a good and loyal friend. She's one of the few who knows of your former life as a raider, but does not hold it against you. We can remake ourselves, she once told you, like a broken sword reforged. You give her a name and mark the bond. So the clan overseer counts as 1. My home village counts as 1. Not all of these examples are going to be exactly right for my game. For my bond that is going to take a really long time, that one's epic, but my first quest bond is going to be troublesome. Because I don't feel like it's dangerous yet, but I don't know why I keep dreaming of these pillars. Cool, so now I've got my character a little bit fleshed out, so now it's time to create the world. I have a map that's printed out that is exactly like this. I am going to... I'm going to roll a d10 and ignore a 10 to see what region I'm from. 6. I am from the hinterlands. The features of the hinterlands are dense forests nestled against rugged terrain, hunter camps, and remote settlements. Birdsong interspersed with sudden, unsettling stillness. Good. Ironlanders, foraging and hunting game. Hungry beasts stalking. Varu bands howling their war song. This high terrain consists of a long string of forested hills. Isolated Ironlander settlements in this region serve primarily as bases for hunters and trappers. A few farmers do the best they can with the rocky soil, but the people depend mostly on meat, mushrooms, berries, and other bounties from the forest to sustain them during the long winters. Those winters are bitter and harsh. Snow gathers as deep as an Ironlander is tall, or more. Hunters cloaked in heavy furs wear snowshoes to navigate across the rough terrain. At night they make camp. They drink and tell stories. They try to ward away the encroaching darkness with a blazing fire. They cast nervous glances at sounds just beyond the light. In the spring and summer, the melting snow feeds tumultuous rivers. The forest bursts with rich life. But always there's a chill in the air. Always there's a reminder of the coming winter. I just want to name my village. Oh my gosh, there are tables for all this stuff. So let's name the settlement. 78. A seasonal or environmental aspect is what it's named from. I live in Duskmore. I'm gonna put it on the right side of the map. A little bit inlaid from the coast. And we can roll for a settlement trouble. 26. Someone is missing. I like that we can roll for the character role and goal. $73. Fisher. Character goal. 98. Roll twice. Does that mean roll again? 33. Find a home. Let's roll a descriptor just for fun. 66. I am sensitive and artistic. Okay, to summarize what I've done so far. Zahn is a fisher. I'm seeking a home, which ties into my background vow because maybe I can't be at my home right now because everyone inside has this disease. My home was plagued with this disease that came from the old world. And we're not totally sure what causes it, but something happens and then these people are no longer human. It's as if something takes over their brain. But I have pillars haunting my dreams, and maybe I should go to the priest first and find out why they worship the pillars and why they might be in my dreams, because I don't think I'm going to get anywhere until I get that done. I feel like I look very rugged. I've definitely spent a lot of time in the forests in Hinterland. I tried to be a hunter, and I wasn't very good at that, so I took up fishing. Turns out it's a lot easier. But my family is sick with this disease, and it's just a matter of time before I lose them. So basically, I have two choices. Sit here, get sick, have these dreams plague me, or set out for answers. So let's up the stakes of my inciting incident. Let's say that my whole village is having these dreams of these pillars haunting them. And nobody knows why they're there. So I'm going to swear upon iron to complete this quest. I will find the source of why these pillars have infiltrated our village's dreams. It is troublesome that the whole village is having the same dream and increasing frequency, so it's now or never. So then I roll plus heart. To roll, you roll your action die and your challenge die. So let's just read this real quick. You roll your action die, which is 1d6, and your challenge dice, which is 2d10. The total of your action die, your stat, and any adds is your action score. Your action score can never be greater than 10. Anything over that is ignored. So my action roll was 5 plus heart, and I have a bond with this community, so plus 1. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A strong hit will be the action scores greater than both of the challenge die. A weak hit is the action scores greater than one of the challenge die. And a miss is if your action die is lower than both of your challenge die. Cool. This is more intimidating to begin than I think it will be when you're actually playing and get the hang of it. So my action score was 9, and I rolled a 5 and a 6 on my challenge dice. So I got a strong hit. I am emboldened, and it is clear what I must do. Take +2 momentum. I am going to ask the Oracle about what I must do. I am going to ask the Oracle if I should seek out the priests that are worshiping these pillars. I got 19. It is almost certain. So I head out seeking these priests. And next time we'll see how that goes. So that was building my character Zon and fleshing out a little bit of the world and their backstory and what motivates them. I think this should be really fun. This has a lot of potential, and next time we'll actually get into it and play a little bit of the game. Thanks for watching, listening, however you consume your media. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.